Peter Marisi is business professor at the University of Maryland. Beverly Goodman, senior editor, Smart Money. Jesse Eisinger is a financial journalist. Ben Ferguson, syndicated talk radio host with Icon. James Altucher is managing director at stockpicker.com and actually pitched business to Madoffs. We'll hear about that. And Bob Linsner is a columnist, contributing editor at Forbes. I want to begin talking about what Rebecca Jarvis just talked about, Ruth Madoff and Bernard Madoff's family. Shouldn't they be under arrest too? Bob Linsner,
yeah.
Ruth Madoff says she knew nothing. Do you believe it?
No, I don't believe it. Don't believe it at all. She was with him all the time. She had an office there. She was a bookkeeper in the early years. She took out $10 million or perhaps even more than that prior to the scandal coming out. On the sons, I'm not sure, but the way I look at it is this, is that when he would go to Europe in the summer, somebody was involved in taking care of all these payments to the different people. His brother, his sons. Who was in charge of it? Who handled it?
Someone else had to know. You know, Ben Ferguson, if I'm a son of a lion on Wall Street trying to make my career there, it seems weird that I would never ask my dad how he's getting such great returns in a down market.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, coming from a guy that's a little bit younger here, the reality is if your dad is like this, you're probably going to, if you're working with him in general, you probably want to be like him. And more importantly, you want to know what you're going to inherit and how he runs his business so when you take it over. For Ruth to say, especially as much as she was involved, having an office, doing the books, she's a bold-faced liar to say that she didn't know anything about it. Give me a break. His sons, they got to know, because to pull this off the way he did, it took more than just one person to do it. And it took people close to him, which were his kids and his wife.
I believe that the saying is actually a bald rather than bold-faced liar, but pick up with that theme, will you?
Well, you know, I don't believe that everybody here is really a victim. The reason we have these scams is because people are greedy, and there was a lot of greed among the investors.
Yeah, Ben, what do you say, Ben Ferguson?
Well, I mean, you look at this, and an average Joe would never go in and be a part of anything Madoff ever did. The people that he was getting money to invest from were very sophisticated, very smart individuals. Now, there may have been a son or a daughter or somebody that helped get somebody that had a lot of cash to him, and maybe they're a victim. But by the most part of it, you look at these people, they knew exactly what was going on, that these returns were so unrealistic, the same way that you saw with Sir Alan Stanford. The returns he was given, they knew it as investors. And coming from Memphis, where they were pitching this, I even went into their office and got pitched. I said, there's no way. If this is true, why isn't everybody with you? It's unrealistic, and you know it.
James Altucher, this was in some ways another symptom of the financial bubble, right? Everybody was making a hand over fist. People were operating at a frenzy, and Madoff benefited from that.
Absolutely. You know, but at the end of the day, what I really wonder about is not Ruth or the sons, but the government. Why aren't people talking to the guys who actually audited every single year the Madoff fund? This was a highly regulated fund that was audited every single year.
That's not true.
Why isn't the SEC complicit here?
Mr. Madoff did not register with the SEC until 2006.
So
basically, he was operating in an unregulated vacuum for 30 years.
Why didn't he register? Why didn't he have to register, Bob Linsner?
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure what the technical reason is why he got away with it.
Right.
But
Hey, Jesse,
that's very key to the thing.
Jesse, can we really blame the SEC in that case if the guy wasn't even registered as an investment advisor until 2006?
He did ultimately register, and he was audited.
There were multiple ways that the SEC could have investigated. First of all, they investigated the accountant and gave them a clean bill of health in '92. And then they came in again in 2006. So this is a grave SEC failure, a terrible problem.
Right. Beverly, where do you stand on that?
It is a big problem, but I think one of the bigger problems are these feeder funds that were marketing to people that weren't eligible to be in hedge funds, never should have been in a hedge fund, and yet were able to get access to this giant mess that they never should have been.
Right, and all of their clients from the feeder funds, they aren't covered by this SIPC, this program that pays out $500,000.
And they're the true victims here.
But at the end of the day, the one thing here is greed by the investors. I mean, when you see this, you knew something wasn't right, but God, it felt so good to see that money go up, everyone. And I'll keep, I mean, it's gambling. It's sophisticated, high-class gambling when you see these returns
that's the entire
in the
stock
economy.
Market.
But it was all bogus.
This is a whole other world.
This is going to happen again. That's absolutely why this is going to happen again. After a period of time, people are going to forget. Someone's going to come along with another scheme, and they're going to bite again. We're going to have this same conversation again in 5 years.
That's the thing, guys. You can't really pass rules that will stop the next one from happening, can you? We are
Exactly.
always fighting the last battle, aren't
No,
we,
Dennis,
Jesse?
that's not true. Certain frauds will always happen, but you can have a regulator that actually is competent.
Oh,
And
you figure
the problem is that-
Sarbanes-Oxley did a lot to help us, Jesse?
Yeah,
the
I mean,
problem was
this is
that,
another accounting fraud.
The Bush administration had a look the other way attitude
That's
about
not
regulation.
true.
Not
and
all the
that's
sins in the
reason
world were
why
created
we
by the
had-
Bush administration.
Hold on. Wait. Did we not just hear a second ago that he didn't get audited till 2006? So there was somebody that was president before that, I think. So let's be a little bit fair about this. The SEC messed up in general.
The
had
SEC
nothing
guy
to
who's
do with
ripping people off
policy.
since
that the SEC
1995.
had some
That's
problems.
smack
That
in the
was the age
Clinton
of
era.
Pericles.
The SEC audited before 2006, by the way. There were complaints against him, Harry Markopolis.
Yeah, that's right,
The
but they
SEC
didn't
was
do
all
it.
over this fund well before 2006.
Mark